Let's talk about guests. If you are running an interview podcast, this is going to be your best friend. Hi, if we have not met before, my name is Alex Alexander. I am the host of the podcast Friendship IRL, and the system that you are looking at is exactly what I have used to manage over 170 episode releases at this point. In this video, we are talking about the guest management component, tracking down headshots, bios, inquiry forms, all of it. Ugh, so much work. Okay. So I'm here on the front page of the podcast HQ because I want you to take note of these two forms that are in here. Now, you can open these up, you can edit them, you can change them. You are going to want to, for me, I have this guest inquiry form embedded on my website. And then the guest info form is something I send to my guests when I send them a time to record. So with that, let's get into the guest management database. Now, at the top of the page, you have your guest pipeline. It is split into 3 columns: new guest, inquiries, pitches out, and scheduling. Each column is filtered by the guest status. So as you update their status, they will automatically move across this top pipeline up here. Now, let me show you how a guest enters the system. Remember that guest inquiry form that I mentioned before? I have it opened right up here, so let's open it. This is what a guest would see on your website, and they would fill out their name, their email, why they want to be on your podcast, their website, their social, everything you need to know to determine if you'd like to invite them on the podcast or not. Now, when somebody fills this out and hits submit, it will automatically create an entry in here that looks just like this orange one, this inquiry form. So everything would be filled out just like this. You would see this guest inquiry form section full of information. Now, once the guest has entered the system, you can review them here. You're going to need to reach out to them. Luckily, you have their email, and invite them on the podcast or schedule a discovery call, whatever your process is. And as you go through that, you are able to move them through the statuses and the process here. Now, when you reach the point where you want to invite them on the podcast, personally, I send them an email with a TidyCal link, like any scheduling platform you like, Zoom scheduling, Calendly, whatever your preference is. I send them a link to schedule a time to record, and then I send them this guest info form. You're going to have them fill this out with their bio, their headshot, all that kind of stuff. And that, again, will automatically populate an entry here in your guests. You will need to combine them together, but no more chasing them around for all this information. Then, once we get to the point where they have scheduled the recording, you have their information, you are able to create an episode in here. How to say no to last minute plans. Let's say that that's what Jamie and I are recording. You can create a new episode just like this. And now that entry is in your your episode database right here. There you go. And just like that, you now have an interlinked guest page, a episode page. You have walked them through 2 forms without having to chase them around. So let's go back to that guest management database. Now in here, you have a few filtered views. You can see your potential guests, the guests you're pitching, the guests that are scheduled, all guests right here in one view. So that's it. That is the full guest flow. Someone fills out the guest inquiry form, appears in your pipeline. You move them through the stages as you pitch, follow up, and schedule. Once confirmed, you send them the guest info form and their details populate automatically. You link them to an episode and their info flows to an episode page. No more spreadsheets, no more scattered emails, no more copying and pasting bios. It's all connected.